Welcome to July, the month in which I have a much too ambitious TBR. So if you recall, there was a time, and technically at the moment still is a time, where I've maxed out my library card. And it's come to a head in that a bunch of my books have no renewals left this month. So that's basically everything that I'm going to throw on the TBR, and we'll see what sticks and what I actually finish for the month. It's a lot. First off, some stuff you may recall from last month's TBR, because I did not do as well reading as I thought I was going to do. We've got I Saw Ramadan, which is a memoir of someone who was essentially locked outside of his country because of war stuff that was going on. 30 years in exile. He's a famous poet, actually, and I have started this. I'm halfway-ish through, so I think I can finish this one, and I am really enjoying it. And it did suit what I wanted for last month, because I wanted, poetry and short stories, and even though this is a memoir and not specifically any of that, he does have some of his poems in here, and being a poet, there's been some really lyrical writing, so that's been fun. I should finish this one. We'll see about all the rest. We also have A Burn Beautiful Soul, which I haven't even started, but was also on my TBR last month. And then, I don't remember if I talked about this one specifically or not, but we've got On Fragile Waters. This one I've also barely started. It was one I actually wanted to read way back in May for the Asian readathon stuff that was going on and did not get to, but I have started it and I'm enjoying it so far. Although the writing is a little bit of a different style than I'm used to. I don't know what you would call the style of it exactly, but something about the way it's written is a little off-putting in some ways too, but I'm curious about the story, so I'm going to keep going on this one, and we'll see if we finish it. And then we've also got from last month The City of Thorns, which is about refugees and all that fun stuff. I haven't started this one. We'll see if I can finish it, but I do still think it's an interesting story. Since it's divided into 9 lives, maybe I can at least get through 1 life's worth of the story in the book before I have to return it. We'll see how it goes. And then next we have Adapt, which, again, also on my TBR for last month, also have not started. This one I'm also looking forward to, talking about, evolution in nature and stuff, I think. I have too much nonfiction probably to finish all of it, but I'm hoping that I can get through some of it. We will see. Speaking of nonfiction, I also have I Stand Corrected, which is about a woman who goes to teach manners in China, and she writes a book to the Chinese about how to behave according to Western manners and that kind of a thing. It's been really interesting so far. I have started it. Again, it was another one actually like Fragile Waters that I wanted to read during Asian Readathon, even though this one wouldn't technically have qualified necessarily because it was by an American writer and not an Asian writer. But did not get to it. But I have started it and I have enjoyed it. And this one's been pretty fast. So of the nonfiction, I think this is probably the most likely for me to finish because I've already started it and it's a really fast-paced, easy style for me to get through. So we'll see if we can get through that one. Then we've also got Black Girl Call Home. This one is a poetry anthology, so hopefully will be a pretty fast read too. I'm pretty interested in poetry just in general right now. I'm working on some poetry writing myself, so all the inspiration from other poets has been really fun to try and get through. And the other Black poetry that I've read somewhat recently, at least, I read Rudy Francisco's, I've forgotten the title, but I read one of his recently, and I read The Diary of an Angry Black Girl within the last year, or Black Woman within the last year, and really enjoyed that. So I'm looking forward to another Black poetry anthology and hoping it'll be a lot of fun. Next we have The Mirror season, which is one someone was talking about on YouTube and I thought sounded good, but at this point I do not remember what it's about because the fact that it has no renewals on it left. I've had this for months, and so I don't remember what it's about, and I didn't do my research and read the back flap. before I started the video, but there's that one on my list too. Next, we've also got the Lumbee Indians, which is yet another nonfiction. This one is about Indians in America, I believe, kind of some of the journey that Indians have gone through in America and just that kind of thing. And I think it sounds really interesting, so hopefully I can get through some of this too. We will see. Then next we have the Untelling. This one is a fiction story about a girl who has dealt with a lot of tragedy in her life, including a car crash that killed some of her family. Now she's a bit older, she has a boyfriend and thinks she might be pregnant, but wait, it might not be that. The truth is about to make her question every assumption and reevaluate the life she's worked so hard to build for herself. So intrigue and mystery in this one. And I hope I get to it because I want to know what's going on and if she's really pregnant or not, just based on that. The description has me intrigued. And then we've also got The Snow Child, which is one that is also another fiction. It sounds like there's kind of this missing girl out in the woods, in the snow kind of a thing. A mysterious girl that a couple keeps seeing, something of that effect. Kind of a fairy tale vibe almost I get from it. So I'm looking forward to this one and hope I can get through this one too. And then finally, we have The Snakes. This one is about a couple who have kind of been struggling in their marriage a little bit and end up deciding to go on a vacation and stay at the wife's brother's hotel that he runs and run into some snakes. And as a snake person, I was curious to see what it meant. I did think, reading the description, that it was going to be like he had like a basement full of snakes that he was breeding or something. But it's not that. They're like wild snakes that live up in the attic and that he's trapping and stuff. I've only barely started this one, but I have started it, so I'm hoping to get through this one too. I'm curious to see what the overall take on snakes ends up being, because I know a lot of fiction and things tends to villainize snakes, which I think is very unfair, and I hope it doesn't do that, but since they are currently trapping them in the attic, we will see. But yeah, that's my TBR for the month. It's huge, and I probably won't get through all of it, but yeah, there you go. That's, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 books on my list, and several of them are due within the first week of the month. So yeah, we'll see how all this reading goes, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I can get through at least some of it. We'll see how it goes. If you've read any of these or have any thoughts on where I should start trying to get through this massive TBR, feel free to comment down below. That's all I've got for now. This is the Harper signing out.